Ali Peak is a former professional basketball player, TV personality, host, and empowered dad. He is best known for his time as a champion in the Philippine Basketball Association, commonly known as the PBA. After retirement, he went into commentating, hosting, and acting. Now, he is a businessman and happy dad, serving as an inspiration to everyone through his hard work and determination.
Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of In Love With Me, where we feature inspiring individuals who will share their amazing stories. I am your host, Mafae Velasco, and for this series, our topic is Finding Your Why. For this episode, we have an empowered man, former professional basketball player, host, businessman, and a dad to motivate us to take action. So without further ado, let's welcome again the amazing Ali Peak. Hi, Ali. Ali, you there? So we had Ali before in our first season of In Love With Me, and he was with Joe Fish, Nick Velasco, and Harvey Carey. And I wanted to invite him back because his story is so unique, it's so inspiring, and I know that he has some great news to share with everyone. There's so much has happened during the past few months. And today, I wanted to talk to Ali about challenges, self-doubt, his definition of failures and insecurities, because I know that he has found some strength and courage with those amazing experiences in his life. So Ali, are you there?
I'm here. Yeah, I don't know what happened. I'm here. I apologize.
Welcome back. It's all right. I appreciate you joining me again on this campaign about promoting mental health. And what I was just telling everybody, who's tuned in, I had to have you back because there's so many things and updates, positive, plans that I want you to share. But of course, before all that, this is, a discussion today to share your your life experiences. I know before I did ask you about how you are empowered and inspiring, but not everybody knows, most especially the young ones, what you've been through, apart from your professional career. So I wanted to start with, talking about, the challenges in your life. And one particular topic or one particular thing that happened to you was an accident. How long has that been? That's been years. Right?
It happened in 2011.
So back in 2011, and maybe this is the reason why I have this nickname for Ali, because, to me, I find him such a strong man. Of course, physically, you guys can see that Ali is strong, but he also has a kind heart. To many of us, he is like the rock of the Philippines. He is an Iron Man. And let me allow Ali to tell you why.
Well, thank you for that. But yes, it happened back in 2011, and it was just one of those things in my life that I guess was profound, and it wasn't an accident. That's the one thing. This thing, it was planned, unfortunately. And for the people that don't know out there, I was in the middle of my career. I was having a great career. I think we were defending champions, and we were on our way. We had been predicted to win another championship, and everything was just going really well off the court and on the court. But tragically, I was shot. I was attacked in the parking lot of where I normally train. And this is not where I practice. For people again that don't know, what I used to do was I would do extra work. I was constantly doing extra work, and that's part of the reason why I was able to play for such a long time and play at a high level for such a long time, was that putting in the extra work. And so that's what I was doing. That day was no different. But then, later on that night, that happened. And, to be a little bit more detailed, the bullet entered the back of my neck close to my head, and it got stuck. It lodged in between, well, about a millimeter from my carotid artery. And, by the grace of God, I was able to survive that. I was coherent when it happened. I was still conscious. My trainer heard the gunshot outside. The assailant ran off. And at that point, I didn't realize I got shot. You know, it's not something that a lot of us experience every single day.
Yeah.
But my trainer was the one that told me. My trainer said, "I think you got shot. We need to take you to the hospital." And so, that's what we did. We went to the hospital. And the crazy thing is, I walked in there, and then about 2 weeks later, I walked out with a clean bill of health. The bullet still resides in my head. Um, the doctors say that I need to get checked periodically, and it's a part of my carotid artery. It's just there. It's a part of my carotid artery, and it's just something that I deal with every single day of my life. Again, I'm very thankful that I was able to survive that. Most people would have been able to survive something like that. But I just remember having so much support from so many of my teammates, all my teammates, the management, the company that I played for, family members, friends, especially uh, reaching out to me from all over the world, for that matter. But you know, that happened, and obviously, there's all types of thoughts running through my head. At that point, when I got back 2 weeks after the incident, and then finally being able to be cleared to go back home, I was already thinking about retiring from basketball and going back to the States, because at that point I really didn't know what was going on. So I ended up going back to the States, but with the intention of coming back to play. But I had to get some more tests to make sure that the bullet doesn't move anymore. That was the most important thing. And the good thing is that it was in place, and it looked like, according to the surgeon, that it wasn't going to travel anywhere else, which was even more encouraging. But they still wanted to make sure. But in that time, um, you know, again, so many different thoughts going through my head. The biggest thing was, is it safe to even go back to the Philippines? Now, the surprising thing about that is so many of my family members were encouraging me to go back. I mean, you would think that they would want me to stay because they don't want anything bad to happen to me. But I don't know. Honestly, I think that might be the strength of my family. You know, my grandfather, who was a World War II veteran, served, in the Philippine Army, retired lieutenant colonel. He fought in World War II, Mafae, and he was captured by the Japanese and escaped from the Japanese. He was even tortured. And when he was still alive at the time, he told me, I said, Grandpa, should I even go back? And he said, you have to go back. My father even said the same thing. Whoever did this to you was trying to ruin everything about you.
Yep.
So it's very important that you go back. And, when I got back, again, so much support, incredible support from everyone, especially my team. So I had bodyguards with me 24/7. I mean, 24/7. They stayed at my house. They went everywhere with me for the next 2 years after that. But when I came back 2 months after, being shot. I came back and played in the semifinals to rejoin my team. I was actually working double time because I had to get myself back in shape. So again, the extra work. I was doing the extra work after, the day after games. I really don't know how I did it, but I think that it was just a lot of it also had to do with me not wanting to let my teammates down. And of course, this is one of the things that was going to be a defining moment in my life. And I had to make sure that I made sure that I put myself on the right side of history, if that makes any sense. So, yeah. So, if I allowed this to affect my life at that point, if I had quit, it would have definitely, I really believe that it would definitely affect everything that I did for the rest of my life. And I could not allow that to happen. So, and the cool thing about that was that we ended up winning the championship,
Right.
which is crazy, So
Mm-hmm.
everything just really worked out.
Mm-hmm.
Do I live? People ask me, do I live a different life now? Yeah, absolutely. I see things a lot different. I see things a lot. I'm not going to get too far into that. Um, from the time between actually getting shot and the time to the hospital, that was a pretty that was a pretty. I think that was the closest to God
Mm-hmm.
that I think I'll ever be. The next time will probably be when I hit those pearly gates.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What's amazing and unique about your story is that you're able to you're able to share it. You're able to
Mm-hmm.
share with others on how you overcame. How did you build your confidence again? And I don't know if this is your definition of one of your failures in your life, but if it is, um, I know failure is a great teacher for all of us, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
can you
Yeah.
share a failure that has defined your journey?
Oh God, the failures. I've experienced many failures throughout my entire basketball career, even before that, and even after that. And I think the mind blowing experience has been from the time I retired from basketball up until last year. And I think because I I wasn't ready to get into the real world. I thought I was, but I wasn't. Um, you think that it's weird, You for some people they've been able to separate the basketball career, the fame, the glamour, everything that comes with it, right? Everything that comes with being a professional athlete from reality, if that even exists, because there is evidence of that existing, because there's professional athletes that while they're playing basketball, they're taking the time to go to workshops. They're taking the time to learn more about business. They're going back. They're going to school in the off season to make sure that they're prepared for when the time comes that they have to leave the sport. They're good, And I didn't do that. I did not do that. And so the last 4.5, 5 years, actually the last 5 years have been crazy. And, I had to go back and sort of check my ego,
Mm-hmm.
because and the scary thing about that, and I say this all the time when I talk to people, is I didn't think I had an ego. I didn't think I had that. I thought I was fine, but I wasn't. And what I realized was that it wasn't just affecting my professional life, it was affecting everything. It was affecting my relationships with friends. It was affecting my relationships with the people that I was in relationships with, my personal life. And so when I finally decided that I was going to start listening and start applying,
Mm-hmm.
that's when everything really, that's when everything changed. And that actually happened last year around June or July. Now, what's crazy about that is that from that point up until now, I know 2020 has been very rough on all of us. It's been rough for people around the world, including here in the Philippines. But the weird thing about that is that financially, um, Royce and I have been experiencing so much success, and I really believe it's because we were willing to make sacrifices. We were willing to um, shut up and learn. you
Yeah.
know, we don't know everything,
Mm-hmm.
and we may think that we know, or we may think the most important thing is we may think that we don't need help, but we need
Right.
help. We
Mm-hmm.
need help from the people that know, because they've done it. I've never done it. I've never been a businessman before. I don't know what it takes to be a businessman. But when and another thing is, I think you can also agree with this, Mafae, you and Nick, because you're surrounded by business. You guys are business people also, is that you have to, not in a disrespectful way, you have to surround yourself with the type of people that will help you become the person that you want to become.
Mm-hmm.
And so from that aspect, I had to change my thought process, my vocabulary. I had different types of mentors. I no longer had basketball mentors.
Yeah.
I had business mentors. And even then, just giving me the basic fundamentals of, let's say, how to save my money, how to manage my money. These people came around in 2015, 2016. I didn't start applying it until June of last year.
Yeah.
So, when I started doing that, that's when everything really started to open up. And that's when I started to really experience the success.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I think this can align to what my next question is, because I feel as though this feeling happens in different times of our lives. And you just said it, just having to regroup your life, reassess. It falls on, did you ever overcome self-doubt? Because I know as a athlete going into business or even continuous learning, was it in your career? Maybe you were young. Did you ever question yourself?
All
If
the
so,
time.
what were the feeling and how did you overcome it? I mean, I know it's an ongoing process, but
Yeah.
can you share with everyone, like maybe an example?
Well, a prime example is, I will say that mental health is real. And I'm not saying that I think it's safe to say that I suffered from obsessive compulsive tendencies, obsessive compulsive behaviors. And a lot of those stem from, anxieties. And a lot of it also comes from, your upbringing, part of that, but also some of the traumas that you experience while you're growing up. A lot of my traumas would happen. A lot of my traumas would happen on the basketball court because I took it so seriously. And so when something didn't go my way, I really took it hard. I took it personally to the point that it would affect me. But then you also have to understand where it's coming from. I did hire a sports therapist, a sports psychologist from 2004 up until about 2010 to kind of help me identify, because all of these things started to manifest when I was around 29 years old, and I couldn't understand what was going on. What was happening was I was having a hard time focusing in games, where before there was no problem. So I had to figure out a way to identify that. And when I was able to do that, like you said, it's an ongoing process.
Yeah.
And I think that whenever because I think we all experience self-doubt. We do. When I'm doing my live broadcast before I'm about to start covering a basketball game, there's self-doubt that creeps in. And I think one of the keys is to identify and understand what's happening. The only thing that's happening is that you just want to do well.
Yeah.
You want to do well for yourself. You want to do well for the company. You want to make your family proud. That's all you want to do. So when I was able to understand what was happening, and then also accept the fact that that was happening, because I think a lot of us, especially big, strong guys like us, we don't want to show any weakness, and say that I'm not afraid. There's nothing wrong. I'm not suffering from this. I'm fine, when you really aren't. It's okay to not be okay. But the key is to be able to deal with it head on. And that was one of the things that my therapist taught me. I also hired my therapist because I wanted more of a mental edge. I wanted to know, I wanted to be on a different level mentally when I was out there competing. So, again, it goes back to part of the extra work and just trying to do as much as you can possibly do to be able to be successful at the sport that you love. And then now translating into the real world, those anxieties kind of creep in every once in a while, but then I understand what it really is. And so,
Right.
and then it's a lot easier to deal with. So, yeah.
And speaking of that, you did talk about playing professionally, it came with physical and emotional strength, right?
Yeah.
So they have to, being a professional and succeeding in that limelight. Would you agree that you need to require thick skin and inner strength? Why?
Um, Thick skin, yeah, I think thick skin, but then also understanding that you need to be comfortable with you and who you are. You have to accept who you are. And I think there's a lot of people out there that feel that they always need to change something about themselves. A lot of that might be physical, or superficial reasons. We all do have to make changes, but those type of changes have to be something that to help us improve, to help us get to the next level, to help us be better fathers, to be better spouses. To you know what I'm saying. So but a lot of the superficial stuff, I think that's a lot of that is just, I guess, insecurity. But then again, it's these are real issues. But I just think that knowing who you are and being comfortable with who you are, and having the confidence, that reminding yourself, and that's something that I would do before stepping out into the court, because I had that little bit of anxiety and a little bit of fear creeping in. When I do live broadcasts, the same thing happens. But then I understand that, hey, I put in the work. I've
Right.
done all the right things. I didn't mistreat anybody. I didn't disrespect anybody. I'm doing everything that I can possibly do to be in this position here to to uh, to execute whatever it is that's needed of me and what's needed of myself. And it's just, when you exceed your own expectations, which should be the most important thing, you exceed everyone else's expectations. And that's something that Michael Jordan said about Shaquille O'Neal when Shaquille O'Neal was a rookie coming up, and that always resonated with me. It's always resonated with me. Yeah.
So I guess that's your answer also for, my next question would be the key to standing out. Most especially people or the young ones who want to follow your footsteps. I mean, or to be a businessman, or just being an empowered dad. What do you think they can do to separate themselves in order to stand out?
Man, that's funny that it's interesting that you just asked me that, because I was having a talk with my 14-year-old stepdaughter about that, my 15-year-old goddaughter about that. They have dreams.
Yeah.
Right now, they don't know exactly what they want to study when they get into college. And I said, don't worry about that. Don't let anybody pressure you about that. You take your time. When you will know, because you could see it. You could see it, and everything that follows is going to be so visual. It's going to be detailed. And I just kind of gave them examples of myself. Um, Gosh, Mafae, what was the question again? I'm just going
What
off in the left field.
No, no,
Yeah.
no. It's correct what you're
No, no,
saying.
no, yeah.
What would be your greatest advice for them to
Yeah,
stand out?
yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
That's the thing. That's what I said. Okay, so now I'm back on track. So I asked them, I told them, what makes you stand out? Because there's a lot of kids out there that are just as smart as you are. I even I showed them links. I showed them photos of, I told them about the Ivy League schools, in the United States. I said, have you heard of Ivy League? No, not really. I go, well, maybe you should. Do you want to see? And they said, sure. Have you heard of Harvard? Oh yeah, I've heard of Harvard. Okay, that's an Ivy League school. Do you know who went to Harvard? No. George W. Bush, Barack Obama. Yale is another school. Do you know who went to Yale? No, I don't. I mean, I said, do you know how the selection process happens? Not just with this, but so many different levels and aspects of your life. There's going to be other people out there that may be just as smart as you, may be as talented as you, but how do you make yourself stand out? What about you? What about your story is so interesting that, you know what? I'm going to go with this person. You know what I mean? So that was a conversation I had with them. But I also think, aside from that, it's the hard work. You got to put in the hard work. I wish there was a magic formula, but there isn't a magic formula. Um, and you got to stay focused. You got to stay true. It's got to be tunnel vision. I told them that I was 12 years old when I knew that I was going to get paid to play basketball, to get paid to play a professional, to play a sport professionally. How did I know? I saw it. I saw myself signing autographs. I saw myself putting on a hat on draft day. I saw myself. I even saw myself partying with girls. Sorry, but what I'm saying is, it's got to be that detailed.
Right.
Because law of attraction works. I'm telling you, it works. I was doing law of attraction before I even knew I was doing law of attraction. I was doing that at 12. Okay. 14 years old, I was already putting some of my favorite pictures of basketball players on my mirror sink. That was the first thing that I saw in the morning. So if I ever felt like I wanted to slack off, if I ever felt too tired or I didn't want to work out that day, I would see that and I'd be like, And the truth of the matter is, I still do that today. My girlfriend and I, Royce and I, we do that now. It's in our financial goals are on our mirror sink. That's the first thing we see when we brush our teeth. It's on our other laptop. Every time I open up the laptop, there's a specific date. There's an actual date of when we want to accomplish this goal financially. So it's got to be detailed. I have my own whiteboard that sits at the end on the wall that faces my headrest. So when I wake up, I see it. I have to buy a new one because my 2-year-old son, Dwayne, has demolished that. So I gotta go to the mall. I gotta go buy a new one. But I encouraged my stepdaughter Isha. I said, I want you to create your own dream board. That's very important. And I'll tell you what, that's another thing too. Royce and myself last year, when things really started to happen for us around June or July, I remember both of us posting pictures of London, posting pictures of Paris, posting pictures of different cities of Europe, posting the type of house that we want, the location of the house that we want to build. All those things, our financial dreams, our financial goals, it's up on the wall nonstop. And the crazy thing about that is that when we came back from London this past Christmas, when we came back from Paris this past Christmas, we marked it off. I was wondering when the house was going to come. And you know this because I showed you videos of the house or the house where we want to build our family home. Royce pointed out to me. She said, you know what? Look at the picture that we chose last year. It's up there, elevated above the city skylines. That picture that we chose together. Actually, she chose. You can actually see the city lights below and the type of house that we want. And guess where the lot is? The lot that I just purchased. It's elevated, and you could see the entire night, the city lights. You can see it. You can see the entire Metro Manila on this large hill. So again, going back to the law of attraction, projection, that's what I always try to encourage my kids, especially my kids. I consider my goddaughter my child also, Mafae. In this house, those two are pretty much my blood. That's the way I see it. And I also feel that it's my responsibility to help them dream and dream big. I told them if the dream, and you've heard this before, if the dream doesn't scare the crap out of you, then it's not big enough. Even more important, that it always seems to be the people that are the closest to us, whether they're our best friends, our family members, that when you show them your dream board or you show them what you want to do, a lot of the times they're the ones saying, come on, be realistic. Be realistic. Let's come on. I don't think you could do that, but you could do this. I tell them this: If you get that reaction, that means you are on the right track.
Yeah.
You are on the right track. Because I tell you what, my mom, my dad, they didn't believe I could get a basketball scholarship. I got a basketball scholarship to Division I out of a high school that only had one other player in the history of that high school that ever got a Division I basketball scholarship. The rest were all, they called it a football and baseball school. So it can be done. It can be done. Why? Because I saw it.
Right.
But you also have to stand out. You have to do something. There's got to be something about you that separates you from the rest of the competition, if you will. And I think that, you know, I used I'm sorry, what's her name? Alex. I used her as an example. Alex Bruce. I'm sorry. I hope I got it
Yes.
right.
Yeah. Alex Bruce.
Yes, Alex Bruce. Okay. And I told Siley, I said, because I think Siley wants to perform. That's what I think. And I said, you know, I told her, hey, I go, Siley, why not you? But you have to work your ass off. You have to work your butt off. Okay. But what do you think separates her from everybody else? She's got the confidence. She's got the swag. She's got the attitude. She's got the, I know what I'm doing, you know, outside of the hard work. So, I
Right.
mean, you know, these are all the things that are really important, especially to the next generations, you know, the younger generations. I hope I
And you
answered
know,
that question.
yes, you did, Ali, and I totally agree with everything you shared. You know, the mood board, claiming it in the universe.
Yeah.
You know, being very visual of what you want in life. You know, I was like you, and maybe it's because of you know, my background, my parents just striving for I guess a better life and just seeing what they did, and maybe you had that also visual of someone you cared about who worked so hard and made you the young person, you know, let's strive for that. And it's funny because, you know, I didn't know I'm not trying to market this show, but Cobra Kai, have you seen it yet on Netflix?
Oh man, I love it. I can't wait for season 3.
Just not to tease everyone, if you haven't seen it yet, I see the same thing that's happening, you know. For the ones who have seen it or know the story of Karate Kid, he worked his butt off. And now he has become successful, and now his son is a spoiled brat. So maybe it's also got to do with how we teach our children. And you're exactly right. We have to manifest to them. And like what Alex is saying here is that we have to share with them our struggles, you know. And I'm not ashamed of my age. I'm sure Ali is not ashamed of his age. And it took us this long to really realize, you know, how life is, our priorities, right? We had so many challenges. So to fast forward that to all the young ones who's listening, most especially, of course, my children, your children, and everybody else, you know, who we love and care about. And that includes everyone who is tuned in. You know, think about your situation right now. How could you make your life better? It doesn't matter if you're 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. You know, it's actually the best when you realize at that age what you want in life.
Yeah.
Right, Ali? You will have that mansion by 20. You know, you will have that dream, I don't know, income by 25 or even before, you know, younger than that. But this is me and Ali already sharing with you guys the goodness of life. When you realize that you have to really thank the universe because you have a chance, right? Even Ali, my goodness, guys, you know, Ali's calling, I truly believe. You know, and this is me as your sister. I love and care about you so much. And I truly believe that your calling is to take care of the young people that are with you, the young people that you are creating, you know, your family, and then the people you are mentoring, most especially now. You know, Ali, it's so powerful what your position is. And I know it hasn't been easy, you know, and then leading up to that, our topic is finding your why. And I truly believe that you are in that, your mission to that is like almost close to perfect. You know, I know it's an ongoing process for us to learn, for us to grow. But can you share with everyone, what is your why and what inspires you to keep pursuing it?
Yeah, my why is two things, and it's really simple. My why is my family, what kind of how my kids are going to grow up to be. How are they going to be perceived? And also how successful I want to see them become. I want them to strive, and I want them to go far and beyond. I don't want them to just be floating, you know. So to answer your question, my why is my family, and the other why is this is what motivates me every time I wake up in the morning. You know, there's mornings Mafae, where I wake up and I either watch YouTube or Netflix, and then something pops up in my head and it's like, what kind of life do you want to be living 10 years from now, bro? What kind of life do you want to be living? You want to be working your butt off now? You want to work your butt off now, or do you want to work later on when you're older? And I'm like, okay, come on, let's do it. You know, we can watch Netflix later, not now. You know, and yeah, those two things. It's just that simple. It's that simple. My family, and where do I want to be? Where do I want my family to be 10 years from now? Yeah.
And you know, you have been doing such an amazing job, Ali. You know, we have to congratulate Ali. He is going to be a dad of, if we count Isha and Siley, a dad of 4 soon. And you know, that's something that we have to pray about, especially during this time that Royce has a healthy pregnancy. Another baby that we're introducing, and I know you are very excited about this. So guys, you have to tune in if you want to learn more about Ali or get to know him or even engage with him. You know, Ali, let everybody know what's happening and what time tonight.
Well, hey, look, you know, 8:30 tonight, guys. This is going to be my official first episode on Kumu. You can find me at Mountain Peak. That's MTN Peak. I know it's for Gen Zs. I know it's for millennials. But you know what? I truly want to interact with each and every one of you out there. Who knows? Maybe we can all help each other. You know what I mean? Yep. Help each other become better human beings. And I'm going to have challenges. I am going to have Taco Tuesdays. Okay. We're going to have Workout Wednesdays. And there's going to be times where I'm just going to be talking about, if there's anyone out there that likes to talk about Star Wars, the MCU, DC Universe, the brand new Batman, please tune in, because we're going to have one day out of the week that we just talk about that. And I'm going to be playing video games online. So if I need help trying to get to a next level, I'm going to give you rewards. I'm going to reward you guys. Okay. So just please support me, and let's just have fun together. Let's have fun together.
And it's okay, Ali. You know, this is your calling also. You are supposed to empower and inspire the youth. So Kumu is a great platform. So hi guys, we're in Kumu right now. If you want to hear more from Ali and get to know what he will be streaming, tune in tonight, 8:30. Like you said, Mondays are also part of your week, but his launch is tonight, guys. So Motivation Monday. If you love tacos, we have to give a special shout out to El Casino PH.
Yes,
who will be his main sponsor for Taco Tuesday, guys. And
Taco Tuesdays.
Right.
Yes, absolutely.
Exactly. So you, Ali, I think will be also giving away tacos on Tuesday. So tune in at how you can win them. All right. So yeah, Ali, I'm so happy that you're back. I know we can talk on and on and on. I want you to conserve your energy for tonight, since it's your debut with Kumu. So guys, for the ones tuned in love with me right now, don't forget, set your alarm at 8:30 and find Ali's handle. It's not hard to find. It's there now on the screen. So follow him now and be entertained, because I know Ali will be amazing. So good luck, Ali, and I appreciate you. Thank you again for being part of my campaign to spread positivity and make sure that everybody is okay, most especially this time. So guys, you know what to do. Actions speak louder than words. And thank you for tuning in this episode of In Love With Me. Thank you, Ali.
Thanks, Mafae. Thanks so much. Thank you.
Thank you for watching and Love of Me series.